What is up, everybody? And welcome to another edition of In the Blender with your host, Shake Money. And as always, we have a special guest to talk Miami Dolphins. I'm excited to meet this dude. He's part of the admin on the Dolphins Den. I see him there chatting groups. I've had Pedro the Fantastic Painter, my man Ty Bless, aka Ty Fly. It's all thanks to shout out to Tory Day, who is probably like one of the best human beings you'll ever. I haven't met him yet, and I can't wait to meet him. He made me the admin, and because of him, I've met some wonderful people within the last couple of months, and this brother right here is no exception. He is one of the coolest brothers I've met, and not just because of his last name. The one, the only, Dolphin Winters. What's up, brother? Welcome to the program.
Thank you. I appreciate that introduction, brother. I appreciate you, and thanks for having me.
Yes. And real quick, I just want to share the screen before we get to brass tacks here. Let me. I want to something that's very important, and I, right here. Can you see it?
Let's see. Hold on. Oh yes. That is the Jason Taylor special edition 4th of July jersey that we have right now going on auction on WCFL, West Coast Central Florida Helping Hands group that is ran by our brother Papa Paul Ferguson. Mr. Tom O'Gara has helped us with that. Shout out to Maria, shout out to Don, shout out to everybody. If I miss everybody, shout out to everyone, because this is a team. This is not something that this is something that we have done together as one. And we're all taking a piece of the puzzle, and we're all putting it together, and we're all still in the beginning stages of it. And as of now, like I said, I'm going to go back to what I said last night from our podcast. Paul came up with the idea of starting a group, and then he started the other group, Helping Hands. And when he sat there and said that he was using my handle, and he enjoyed my handle, and my brother Devontae, shout out to my brother Devontae out in Montreal, our Finn brother out in Canada. It was like, it's an honor, and I told him that. I said, it was something that it's endeared to both of us. We came up with it, but to have someone, to adopt it also, as they're saying also, it means a lot. It really does. It's genuine. It's from the heart. You know what I mean? And to have other people starting to say it now, and it's starting to adapt a little bit throughout the community, it means a lot to me. So, like I said, I'm just a regular old dude. Like
me.
Yes.
And by the way, I just wanted to say,
morning, Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
You ain't never lied on that, brother. You ain't never lied.
Both the links to your YouTube channel, West Coast Dolphins, and the link so you could buy raffles, so you could to get a chance to win that jersey. Both the links are in the description, so please go and make sure and click those links, and make sure you get a chance to win this Jason Taylor 4th of July autographed T-shirt jersey. It's autographed as well, right?
Autographed. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, man. I think it is autographed, so yes.
Yeah, I heard yesterday. Let me give a couple of shout outs to first one in the building, my man Adam Sadowski, the guy that we all aspire to be, a Dolphiner. Cat for life. And my man Fins Up 74. What's going on, man? What's going on, guys? Thank you for being here. So, what made you guys start the West Coast Dolphins? What made you want to start your YouTube channel?
Well, I'll start from the beginning. The majority of it was Paul. Paul, and he assembled a group of people, and he talked about it. He ran it past me, and I was like, I'm on board. It was a very easy decision to make. I've always been a we guy, not a me guy. So when I hear something, and especially for what he is, the money is going towards, anything that's charity wise or anything that is we're giving back to the community or anything like that, I'm all aboard. I'm all for that. I've always told people that for me, and this is just me only, you receive blessings when you give blessings out. You don't sit there and automatically think that when you bless somebody with something that you're going to get something financially back. That's what the misconception from a lot of us as humans think, that, well, if I did something, then I'm going to get something. It's going to be financial. No, you will get a blessing just from, when you least expect it. You know what I mean? And I've always lived like that. I've always said to people, I'd rather be hated for who I am than to be loved for who I am not.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. I love that.
Be who you are, real recognize real. And it takes respect to know respect. I'm an old school cat. So, I'm 46 years old. I grew up in the old school. And I tell everybody, I'm old school, but I'm still evolving like everybody else. So, I'm still adapting with time. Some things I'm with, some things I'm not with, but it is what it is. I try to be the best human being I can be, but I tell people, don't push me.
That's what's up. Yeah. Well, you're not that much older than I am. I'm 45.
Right.
So,
right.
So that's what's up. But no, yeah, there are two things that I find in life. Number one, you can't make a withdrawal without making a deposit first.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And the second thing is, if I do something good for, sometimes let's say I do a blessing for somebody and they don't, whatever, they don't pay it back, whatever. I think God's blessing is better than anything man could ever give you. So,
and absolutely.
So absolutely. If I've been a lot of things, a lot of the guests that, including yourself, I don't think. I mean, I had to put an effort to make the show possible, but a lot of things, a lot of guests, a lot of things that take place in the blender fell into place because of God, and He's blessed me. So at the end of the day, I feel a lot of these things that are happening right now is God saying that it's His will. You know what I'm saying?
So sorry about that.
That's okay. But that's how I feel anyway. But anyway, let me before we get to the $1 million question, let me this is on the rocks martini with vodka, espresso martini, whatever. So
sounds good.
Yeah. Salute to you, my brother. Hey, by the way, yesterday you said you fixed your hair for Allie, and I did the same thing. I fixed my hair for you. Okay.
I appreciate that. I'm over here looking like George Jefferson, man. I'm good.
No, but what's going on, man? Hold on, let me give a Rafael Courtright. What's going on? And
what's going on?
Cruz Ruiz.
Cruz Ruiz needs to link up with me. He's a Philly Finn brother. I need to link up with my brother from Cruz Ruiz. Cruz Ruiz, where are you from, Philly? Because I've seen him in Clock Blockers years ago and all that. I need to get up with my Philly Finn brothers for real. You know what I mean? So definitely.
I appreciate that, Cruz Ruiz, Rookie of the Year. Hell yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. But hey, your boy, hey Pedro, dímelo, Pedro.
Yay, what's up, yo? That's my man. That's my man, Pedro. I'll I'm gonna go into your $1 million question.
Yeah, so what made you a Dolphin fan?
So at an early age, I've been a Dolphin fan for about 27, 28 years. I came in late in the game. I was off and on. I wasn't rooting for any other teams, but it's just the way what's the name? My man. Oh man. Dude, hold on for a second. Cruz Ruiz, I live at Broad and Olney. We gotta link up. If you're on Twitter, I just added you on Twitter. Please inbox me. We got to sit there and holler at each other. Definitely. Fins up, brother. Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. A young lady, I started dealing with a young lady, and she kind of helped convert me into a Dolphins fan. You know, we started one day, we was just chilling. I started watching the games with her. We started watching Marino. This is at the time, if I'm correct, Keith Jackson was playing for the Dolphins. Um, and Keith Byers was playing for the Dolphins as well. So this was about like, I want to say like 94. So I just got out of high school. And like I said, I started dealing with this young lady. She was a Dolphin fan. I was and she's like, look, this is the Dolphins. And what's crazy is we didn't get games like that because this is Eagles country. So we didn't really get games like that. So just coincidentally on the TV, we were just watching the game and it was a Dolphins game. And I was just like, what is the chances of us watching a Dolphins game in Philly? You know what I mean? So I started watching them. I got interested in them. The only thing you had back then, because I think satellite didn't really start until like the late 90s. You didn't get like Sunday tickets until later on. So I would watch Sports Center. Internet wasn't big back then, so I would read the newspaper articles. Then life just became a part. It's just life, because I used to work for Marriott. I worked for Marriott for 12 years. Kind of hard to watch Dolphin games or any football when you're working like 6 weekends in a row. So life just sat there. Like I would just be able to read the games or watch the highlights of the games. And then just life took over, period. I got into some things in life that I'm not proud of. I was out here in these streets. Football was the furthest thing from my mind. And I knew, even though I was doing those things, I still kept in depth and in depth with the Dolphins. I still would watch football, but I wasn't as big into it like I am like right now. Like I didn't really get big into the Dolphins until I want to say 2008 when we won the AFC East Championship. The last time we won the AFC East Championship, which
Pennington.
Exactly. Yep. So as the time went on, and then I was able to afford to get DirecTV, and I was able to sit there and have the package where I was staying at the moment in time. And then I would go to friends' houses and they would have, the DirecTV package. So it was no times really, because I would DVR the games. There was no times that I missed the games. I went through the dreadful seasons. I would get verbally abused by Eagles fans of like, why you rooting for the Dolphins? I said, because that's my team. You guys have your team. I have mine. And I'll tell everybody, like, being a Dolphins fan, to me, you got to have thick skin. You have to. No doubt. I haven't done anything, and especially with Philly, like I said, I lived in Philly all my life. So to sit there and see them go to the Super Bowl in 05, losing in 05, and then they went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, which I told everybody, I said, congratulations. Y'all deserve it. I'm happy y'all beat the shit out of New England. I mean, who the hell would not be happy to sit there and see New England get their asses kicked, except for New England fans? But, I was happy about that because on a personal level, my stepfather, that was the first time and only time my stepfather had a chance to watch his team win a Super Bowl. And my stepfather was battling cancer from 2016, and he passed away in January of 2021. So that man fought as hard as he could, and we prayed to God that he didn't go to the hospital anytime like during the pandemic, because it was crazy. I worked for a mental hospital, and I was an essential worker all through the pandemic, so he got through all of 2020, but he, his condition deteriorated, and the Lord came and got him. And, it's rough. I'm a helper and provider for my mother. I protect and help her, and that, like I told everybody, I was getting offers to come down to Dolphin games for years. And I told everybody, I said, listen, guys, I appreciate the offers. And I mean this. I mean, numerous people I got a ticket for you. I got a ticket for you for this game. I got a ticket. And I said, folks, no disrespect to anybody. I appreciate the offers, but family over everything, even though that man wasn't, My biological father was in my life, and I lost my biological father in 2005.
Mhm.
Actually, the day before my birthday, my 27th birthday, and then I lost my stepfather a week after my 44th birthday.
Yeah.
So, I tell anybody, I love my Dolphins. I love everything about them, but when it comes to my family, everything goes on hold.
Yeah.
But the use of Facebook helped me become more and more in depth with the Dolphins. Social media helped me become more and more in depth with the Dolphins and fellow Finn family. Especially being an administrator to Dolphin Den, and I'm an administrator and a moderator for 7 other groups: Fins for Life, Hard Rockin', Dolphin Addicts, um, Fins Up Baby, uh, shout out to the Texas group 915. I'm also in Papa Paul's group, and I got to mention the man that help all of this possible for me. Our brother, and I'm the CEO of Dolphin Nation 305, ran by our brother. And ladies and gentlemen, please keep him in your hearts and prayers and your thoughts. Paris Love.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, I'm gonna be honest. People that I have to mention, to help me to get to this position. Danny Johnson from the Positive Purpose, Pedro the Fantastic Painter, right from the door. That brother helped me, and he opened up his arms to me right from the door. I mean, I owe him thousands, and I mean that. Paris Love is self-explanatory. That's my brother from another mother, and like I tell anybody, if it, I sit there and I tell people I'm full allegiance to Dolphin Nation 305 and Paris Love, and to Dolph Riki, Ali, like right from the door, she was so generous and so kind and so nice,
Yeah,
and
she is.
and to the rest of the, I mean, if I forget any names, folks, I apologize, but I mean,
For sure.
literally the Dolphin family, the Dolphin community, and I'll be honest with you, everybody has welcomed me with open arms, and I sometimes it's overwhelming. It's when I tell people the love that I receive and stuff like that, you just sit there and be like, man, is this really happening? So right now I really feel that I'm living a dream come true. I never thought that I would be 46 years old and be doing podcasts. Like I would never, a few years ago, I'm be honest with you, and I'll be honest with everybody, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was literally seconds away from spending the rest of my life in jail. Like real rap. I'm not going to put that on social media or a podcast because I do not want to incriminate myself. But I'll just sit there and say that, thanks to my father, like I do have cop blood in me because my father was a Philadelphia cop for 25 years, K-9 Division, 39th District. He instilled some lessons and he instilled some common sense in me to get me out of certain things like that. So, I'll tell everybody, like, the Dolphins literally are somewhat basically my life. It's basically work, home, workout, check on my friends, make sure my mom is cool, and these Dolphins, amongst other things. But that's for another time. So
yeah, hey man, listen. Like I said, Tory Day. I've never met him. He made me an admin without even knowing who I was, and I appreciate that. I guess he must have saw me. This is when I was doing in the blender and other things, and he said, like Ty Bless said, he made him an admin as well. He said he sees if he sees that you have passion about the Dolphins, he'll fuck with you, and that's why I'm appreciative about him. But yeah, like I agree with you. Ever since I did this, I've met some wonderful people, yourself included, and this Dolphin and Dolph Freaky. Okay, I had before she did the show. I never had any interactions with. She didn't know me from a can of paint.
Right.
And I reached out to her to do the podcast, and she was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll be honored to. I would love to." That's what she told me. I would love to, and that goes to show you that this community, we got each other's backs, man. And
right. And
I'm lucky to be a part of it.
Brother, listen, and I also want to shout out her husband, Jared, because I always tell people, I said, they're a unit. I said, don't get me wrong. Ali is the super fan of super fans, just like, to me personally, the queen of the Miami Dolphins. But you got to shout out Jared too, guys, because I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a unit, guys. Like real rap.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Jared as well, man. So, because I mean, number one, there's some loving people, man. They're very loving, generous. Like when I finally met Ali, because I met Ali at the Baltimore Beatdown last year at the meet and greet. And when I finally met her, it's like, oh my God, Dolphin Winters. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, it was great to finally meet her. And then I walked up to her husband and I sat there and I told her husband, in short words, I said, brother, you have a beautiful family. And we had words that are between me and him. And, it's finally great to finally meet a lot of these people, Stephen D and DJ Sick Turtle and, Papa Pump and Justin Finn Sticky. And I mean, the list can go on. Finn Sats and Bob. Like, I mean, I can go on and on and on. And everybody that I've come in contact with or people hit me up in my inbox and just want to conversate, like it's great, man. Like, I mean, I tell anybody, like, look, you can hit me up. Whatever you guys want to say or what you got to say, you can say it. I have no problems. Just beware what type of energy you come with. I always tell people that, you get what you give. You know what I mean? Thank you, brother Pedro. Peace, love, fins up, family. Without a doubt. So
Que voila, man. Que voila. But yeah, man. So you've been to a couple of games. I imagine.
I finally have started going to games. Like I said, I was living a life. I was taking care of my stepfather with my mom. And finally, I was able to sit there and financially be able to come down because the first actual game that actual home game was last year. That was the game against Minnesota. I think I sent you a video or a picture of me holding the American flag. I want to shout out Mark Angelo for making that happen. Shout out to my North Yeah, man, that's something I'll never forget. I'll never forget that moment. I mean, to sit there and just the anticipation of walking out with the American flag and just to see all of those people, to see just, man, I'm be honest with you, man. I said, well, damn, this is how a Madden game feels. Like real rap. Like I was just like, oh my God, just to be able to have our nation's flag and just to be able to look around the stadium and feel the energy. And then if you look behind you, you got the Miami Dolphins whole team standing right behind you. Like it's just like I'll tell anybody that moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Like, I literally, like, I'm trying not to get emotional thinking about it because I went through a lot. So, and to be able to do that, like, it's been, I'll say this to you, it's thousands and millions of people that would love to do what I did, and I was able to do that on my first home game. So, that means a lot to me because I have a lot of military in my family, and that means the world. So,
hold on. So anyway, sorry about that. I apologize.
You good?
So let me ask you. You talk about your boy Paris Love, and here we go.
Yes, that's my brother right there. Pray for Paris, and that's no pun intended. I'm being extremely serious.
Yeah,
definitely pray for that man, definitely, and pray for. I want to just sit there, and not just only for Paris. I want to, Gary. I don't want to pronounce his last name, but Gary P. Erica Pittman, Dawn Mason, Tyrone Marino, Everybody knows him. I'll say Tyrone Marino because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I don't want to disrespect anybody if I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But just folks, take a second or a minute out of your day just to sit there and just close your eyes and sit there and give the Lord thanks and praise for what you have. Because there's a lot of people out here, not only in our community, not only just in the Dolphin community, but just out in the world that need that. Real rap, like real, like I'm gonna keep it funky with you, and I'm not gonna get off the subject.
Yeah.
Right now in the Northeast in the United States, we're dealing with smoke again from Canada, and one of my homies right now is in the hospital on a breathing machine because he can't breathe from this. So it is, our air quality up here is red. So we are actually in dangerous air quality up here, and we've been like this for the last 2 days.
Wow.
So like shit is real. Like really, like shit is real. Pay attention to what's going on. Don't take things for granted. Please don't. Because that's when you get caught up. That's real. You know, but that's my brother right there. I'm praying for him.
Where was this picture taken at?
This was at Fan Club Weekend at Bone Campers. This was actually the very first time I met my brother in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I met him. I met his loving wife. You know, I met Farshad, the Finn usher that works down there at the Hard Rock. He's one of our fellow admits on Dolphin Nation 305 as well. I met so many people that day, and I have people come up to me and tell me that, you know, my words that I post up on Facebook means a lot, that it helps them out throughout their day, and just my energy. And when I had people coming up to me like, yo, your energy is crazy, your energy is different, and you know, your energy feels like it's real. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to be anybody else but me. You know. So I always tell people, like, you know, I recognize real. I can smell bullshit from a mile away, but I can recognize real. And the majority of the people that came up to me, that approached me or I approached them, it was love, definitely. So definitely, but yeah, that was Fan Club Weekend. That was at Bowl Campers. It's sad that I'm not going to be able to go this year due to the fact just the way the schedule like kind of fell, because it's right before the Philly game, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't have it. I just don't, man. Like it's sad because like I have the weekend off and everything, but I just financially just don't have to do that weekend, Fan Club Weekend in Miami, and then be right here at home too. So yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much, and I had to make a decision. I'm like, I wasn't missing the Philly game.
For sure, I can imagine. And remember when you guys do the Philly invasion, wear your orange.
Yes,
very important. What about this one right here?
Right there, it's my brother. I'm at work, and that's my fellow Finn brother, Kenneth Dorsey. That's my fellow brother. He's from Baltimore. He's been living in Philly for years. He's a diehard Dolphin fan, just like I am. It was actually at one point in time, it was 3 of us, but I didn't want to put the other picture because he doesn't work with us anymore. And some people are kind of finicky about putting their pictures on you know, social media and out here in the social media world and the YouTube world. So I didn't want to invade this man's privacy. But this is one of my Finn brothers up here, and we talk Finn football. He had some out of space takes. He's one of those guys that I just was talking about the other day. But that's my brother, man. He goes to battle with me. You know, we're the only 2 Dolphin fans in the kitchen. So
that's what's up.
It's a kitchen of it's a staff of 14, 15, and everybody else is Eagles fans. You got 1 Baltimore fan and you got 1 Cowboy fan. So if we sweep them guys, we can talk shit all year long.
Yeah, like the man, Mr. Tim, I'm a big fan of his. We talk shit because our team allows us to.
Absolutely.
All right, what about this one right here?
That was right before I decided to go down to the flag ceremony. That was actually, I want to say, I can honestly tell you exactly what time that was. That was about 8:30 in the morning. And once Paris pulled up into the tailgate, I got out the car, was sat there, and I just was saying what's up to everybody. And I had to snap a picture with the most beautiful stadium in America, in the NFL. Hard Rock. Like I said, that it's a dream come true. Like literally, fan club weekend to me was Christmas, New Year's, and my birthday all combined. Like literally. So definitely, like I told everybody, that will be an event that I'll never forget.
By the way, is that Zach Thomas jersey?
Absolutely. That was the game. That was a Vikings game, and I think it was, they wanted everybody to wear Zach Thomas 54 jerseys because they were trying to get Zach in, and that was the let's vote for Zach. I wish I could have found the picture because it was actually a picture of us holding up cardboard signs saying let vote Zach. Vote Zach in 54. Okay. And it was a bunch of us. Spirit, shout out to Spirit Fingers. I got a chance to meet her. Lillian Fernandez, if I'm correct. And a whole bunch of other Dolphin fans that I met down there. Matt Farah, the whole crew.
And last but not least, the pictures you gave me. This one right here.
2017 preseason game, Dolphins Eagles. It was literally the first preseason game. It was probably the first time I've seen the Dolphins in person in my life. The tickets were $40. I went right after work. I met a couple of my boys that are Dolphin fans. We sat up top. I sat and watched the whole game, and I enjoyed it. That was when we had Jakeem Grant, and Flores was the coach. I can tell you right from the door, the first half, that what's the name? Who was the quarterback then? Because it wasn't Tua. Tua was not the quarterback.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes. Fitzpatrick threw a bomb. He threw a bomb because I called it. It was first quarter. I looked at the setup and I said, Devontae Parker was actually going against he was a DB. He played for Buffalo, and then the Eagles got him. And I said he got burnt when he was in Buffalo. Watch, he about to get toasted now. And everybody was looking at me like I was talking shit. But yeah, I was talking shit, but I was being real. And sure enough, Fitzpatrick put that shit right on the money for like a 70-yard bomb, and we got down to like the 2-yard line. So yeah, that was it was beautiful to see, Dolphin fans coming up, and they came up, and I mean they came up in groves, and that's why I say week 7? Yes, week 7 in Philly. I really be honest with you. I would not be surprised if that stadium is a quarter to maybe close to a half of Miami Dolphin fans. I would not be surprised, because I'm gonna tell you something. The Dolphin fans for that game, they showed up. They definitely showed up, and that was a preseason game. You even had Marino. Marino was in the house. He was in the house. You know what I mean? So, that was preseason, and I knew from a personal standpoint. I remember watching us when we came to Philadelphia 8 years ago in 2015. That was when they had what's his name? The coach from Oregon. I forgot what his name is, but he was doing the speedy offense, and they went up on us 16-0 in the first quarter.
I know you're talking about. Exactly. Damn it. He's in UCLA right now.
Correct. What's his name? I forgot what his name is.
Oh man, it's gonna drive me crazy.
I see his face, but I forgot his name. But
he also went to San Francisco too.
Right.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, and we came back, and Tannehill was our quarterback.
Chip Kelly. Thank you, Dolphin.
There you go. Thank you, Dolphinaire. Yeah, Chip Kelly, and we sat there and chipped away from that lead, and just chipped. And I'll never forget the play that actually had us win the game. Is, if I'm correct, Jarvis Landry caught a 10-yard pass and just ran it right to the house. Yep. And we went up, and the Eagles fans were stunned. And I wanted to go to the game in 2019, but like I said, I wasn't leaving my stepfather, and I wasn't leaving my mom. I wasn't doing that. So, and I had an opportunity to go to that game, but I said, listen, I have to stay home. I got to make sure my peoples are okay first.
So here, check this out. And after the after we have our good season, I'm gonna send you this so you can send it out to your fellow coworkers.
Absolutely. I'm gonna definitely need a couple copies of that.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if you did you see the Buffalo Bills updated trophy case?
No, I need to see that. Oh wow, yeah, looks kind of empty to me.
Yeah, they got the Madden cover. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
They finally got something in there.
You know, they spelled Bills wrong. It's supposed to be another 2 L's on there. Definitely. Shout out to Solo D. That was one of the. I love that you spelled Bills with 4 L's. I say, if y'all want to know what I'm talking about, look up the 10 Dolphin commandments from our brother Solo D. Shout out to Delonte Copeland, aka Solo D. Definitely.
And shout out and check this out. And if you know what, when you pre-order Madden, you get like a special cover when you pre-order at GameStop. I got a copy of the.
Oh shit! Don't let Ken Dorsey. Don't show that to Ken Dorsey. He might fuck up another laptop.
By the way, I'm gonna give a few more shout outs, starting with my man Anthony Pialucci. What's going on?
Yo, Anthony, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up to Bones, man? Bones is one of the real ones in here. I love Bones. I especially love him in Spaces.
Right.
He will crack you up. If you ever hear him in Spaces, god damn, that shit had me laughing like a motherfucker, bro. By the way, he's going, and so is Crypto. You know Crypto?
Yes.
He's going, and then Crypto. He said he's gonna be at the Philly game, and Crypto too.
I'll be looking for y'all coming to my home, man. This is home, so I'm looking forward to my Fins fam coming up, yo. I definitely am. It's gonna be a wild. You guys are losing your. What's up, Papa Paul?
Ain't that the truth, though, man?
You ain't never lied.
And what sucks is it gets worse, and it's not gonna get any better.
Hey, listen.
You know what's funny is one of the things that I hate the most, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I have Starbucks iced coffee. That way, I don't. The reason I get it is so I don't have to stop by a restaurant to get in line to get a coffee. I just make my coffee and go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll be at the red light. I go grab my cup. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. Now I got to turn back around because I forgot my coffee at home. Like, son of it happens a lot to me.
Dude, listen, man. Listen, like I just said, man, I just posted something on Facebook throughout the day. Remember, you're human. That's what we're coming on. Glad to see you too, Anthony. Thank you for the support, Anthony. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you ever seen it. He was in the blender too. That was an awesome episode. By the way, this Saturday I invited him. I'm going to be inviting a bunch of people this Saturday on this channel, not the Fins Tailgate. This channel, Saturday at 12, and we're just going to be breaking down game day memories.
Okay, all right.
Different games. We're going to be talking about. Hey, what do you think of this? What we can start off like? Hey, what do you think of the Baltimore game? And everybody would bring a certain memory about that game, or the Miami Miracle, or whatever game you guys could think of. We'll talk about it, and we'll get. I want to do something new. It's called Game Day Memories, and it's going to be this Saturday. Of course, it's only going to be a few episodes, but at least it's going to give us something until the dead season is over with. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, brother, I'm like this because right now we're trying to work on a couple things over there at the Dolphin Talk Show. We're going to talk about a couple things. I know me and Papa Paul are talking about a couple things. Right now we're doing weekly. Maybe we might add another show. Never know. But we're definitely talking about a couple things. We would definitely love to have you on as here and there periodically whenever you have time. Come on in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said to everybody, our platform is for everybody. And like I tell everybody, it's not easy to jump on here. Everybody doesn't have that moxie to just sit there and jump on a podcast and want to be seen and talk and stuff like that. I get it. But at the end of the day, you try to make people as comfortable as possible, so they can come on and have somewhat of a platform. And that's what we try to do. And that's what we're trying to do on our podcast. It's just to have people come on. You know, it's not like we're gonna slam or bombard you with a whole bunch of like crazy ass questions. And no, we're not gonna do that. Like, you know, take it slow, relax, breathe. You know what I mean? If you want to be on camera, cool. If you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. But as long as we got you on and get your insight, that's all that really matters, you know, because that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? And I'm working that day, but I can still make myself free. So, you know, I'm at work for 12 hours both days. I'll make myself free for that without a doubt.
By the way, I saw. I mean, what kind of Cuban? I sold out years ago, bro. What are you talking about? I'm one of those Hispanic dudes that as soon as I got a good job, nice, you know, I dated a white girl. No,
he said I was gonna stay in the hood, but once I got that money, I was gone. Hey man, listen.
Shout out, man, to John Ahmed with the super sticker, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. But no, so what games? How many games have you been to since you that you could memorize?
Just the 3 that I just told you. Just those 3.
What? I will say, out of those 3 games that you went to, what can you do a top 5 memory list, like events or things like that? It could be something that happened at the game, something happened before the game. Okay, I could tell you one good memory. You met Paris Love. Okay, that'll be one. You met Paris Love. That's
correct.
What would be right? 4 more. What 5? It does. Like I said, it doesn't have to be at the game. It could be after the game, during the game.
All right, so I'll do in a reverse. I'll do in a reverse. So I'll start off. Number 5 would be being on the field, carrying the national flag, and actually being on the field for the first time. Me being at Hard Rock and being able to do that. That's number 1. Number 4 would be meeting all the Miami Dolphin fans and all the super fans and you know, getting love. That would be number 3. I mean, number 4. Number 3 would be meeting Chris Jericho at the damn Miami Dolphins Vikings game that he sat like literally 10 rows from us. No bullshit. Like Keith Matheny, shout out to Keith Matheny. Keith Matheny is screaming my name like I could barely hear him. So he's like, "Come on up." So I ran up to him. He was like about 6 rows behind me. So I ran up. I was like, "What's up, bro?" He's like, "Chris Jericho is here." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, "No." He said he's I just seen him in a concession stand and all that. I said, "Where's he sitting?" He's sitting right over there. So I run over. I'm in Finn Usher's session, Fashad's section. And he's like, Keith went to him. He said, "You don't know who you got sitting in your section?" He said, "What are you talking about?" He said, Chris Jericho is sitting right down there. And he's like, "Are you kidding?" And it's as he's sitting there talking, I'm running down there and I saw him. I shook his hand because I'm a huge professional wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, "Dude, I've been watching you since ECW, WCW, WWF, New Japan, and now in AEW. Like, I've watched you through like my whole life, you know." And I told him I was a huge fan and everything. I said, "Can I get a picture?" He said, "Of course." And this is when he was the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. So this is when he was calling himself the Ocho. So that I should have said that and sent you a picture of that too. But that would be 3.
How far back do you go with wrestling? I need to know.
Oh my God, bro. If you want to sit there and do a show, a wrestling show, we can have it, bro. I mean,
right. I'll do that. I'll do that.
I'll go back. All right, so I'll sit there and I'll go back to my list in a second. But I'll tell you, I'll go back to the WCCW, UWF. Rest in peace to the Iron Sheik. I grew up in that era. The old WWF. I mean, AWA. When NWA came on, when I first got cable, when we first got cable up here, I discovered like NWA on TBS when Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. You know, we can go way back, bro. Like Great Muda's debut here in America. I mean, we can go all day, like literally. like you know,
Junkyard Dog, baby.
Absolutely, definitely.
Well, go to your list, and I got 2 questions that mean that you're a wrestling fan. I got to ask you, but go ahead.
All right, so number two would be going to my very first road game, which was week 2 against Baltimore, to the Baltimore beatdown. Stephen Daniels, everybody, that man does a great job. I'll definitely shout him out with that. That was a huge success. I was a part of it. If you guys can come out, so either one of the 3 that's coming out, bro, you will have a great time, because I can guarantee you this. If the first one was as good as this was, I can promise you this. The next 3 are going to be off the hook. I'm like regretting I'm not going to be able to go to the Baltimore game this year because it's New Year's Eve and I got to work. And then I'm
me too.
yeah. So, and the first memory I will always remember, because it's kind of a 1A and a 1B. The 1A is going to be always, to me, the Miami Miracle. I was literally sitting in a bar, and I'm the only Dolphin fan in the bar, and they had the game on the TV. And like, because I think the Eagles game was already over. I think they blew their opponent out. So they said, we got bonus coverage, and they put that game on television with literally when they kicked the field goal, because I was watching the game on my phone because you know I'm in Philly. They're not showing this game in Philly, so I'm watching the game on my phone, and then all of a sudden they put it on the TV, and I'm like, shit, it's like 12 seconds left. What are we gonna do in 12 seconds? So I'm just sitting there watching it, and when everything developed, I think I might have ran out of the bar, ran back in the bar, was jumping up and down like a crazy. I mean, literally, I didn't give a damn who was looking at me. Like, I was losing my mind. Even the Eagle fans was like, they was applauding for me. So, and that's a rarity. I'm gonna tell you something. That was I mean, I was getting high fives from every fucking body. They was like, listen, as long as you don't, it's like, because I'll tell you this, guys. One thing, and this is a joke for everybody. What do Dolphin and Eagle fans have in common?
What's that?
We can't stand the Cowboys.
Damn. Yeah, my best friend's a Cowboy fan, so
nothing personal. I don't like the Cowboys, and I can't stand any team from the AFC East except for the Miami Dolphins. It's nothing personal. It's business. So then the 1B is being at M&T Stadium, Bank Stadium, to watch probably one of the best comebacks, not only in Miami Dolphins history, but in National Football League history.
Okay. All right. Let's walk. I'll be remiss if let's walk through this comeback. Okay. Let's say when Tua scored the first touchdown, right?
Correct.
Up from the fourth, he scored 4 in the fourth quarter, correct? The first one, when he did that Tyreek Hill, when he did the peace sign like this.
Yes. Yes.
And then when he did this, when did the crowd start shutting down or realizing that they lost the momentum?
All right, so here's the deal. I'm gonna break it down to you from the beginning. So I'm sitting up top. Shout out to the Valley Phin-Addicts. Shout out to all the different Dolphin groups. And like I said, I was sitting up there with Stephen D, Solo D. First play of the game, we have to defer the ball. First play of the game, they run the ball back, 7-0. Then it was 14-0. Then it was 21. Then we scored a field goal. Then it just sat there, and when it got to a point, and this is no lie, Shake, I was numb from the first quarter to literally the fourth quarter when we were down 35-14.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna fast forward
before we continue. There's a guy. Shout out to Finn Raven. What's his name? Team Keep It Clean Engraven. That's his name.
Right.
The dude is an outstanding guy. He's from Miami, ironically, and he's a Ravens fan.
Okay.
A lot of people became Raven fans because of Ray Lewis, because of the U connections. But anyway, that's another story. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I watched his replay, and I'll never forget, because the reason I watched the replay was because I like to see the meltdown, and I watched it from the fourth quarter. He goes, "Oh man, Lamar about to sit down. We about to put in our second string quarterback because this game is over with, dude." And the reason I put on Engraven's channel is because he went on TD's Fins Talk trolling the chat. trolling the chat. So that's why I say, okay, let me see how, and then I never forget. He goes, "Damn it, we gave this game away." I was like, but go ahead.
They didn't get no. What happened was this. So I can now.
But
This
of
is the
course he's a Ravens fan, so of course
right.
he's gonna say they gave the game away.
But this is the fun part. Anybody that knows
Yeah.
football, right? It's 60 minutes in a football game. Everybody knows that. I don't stop watching a football game until it's damn near. It's just like, okay, it's no way we can come back. Or if it's a touchdown or a field goal, I'm watching that shit to 0-0. I'm not gonna sit there and walk away from the game. So 35-21. You can sit there and feel a little uneasiness, but then I think they scored again. No. What was the final? No, it was they scored some field goals. So it was like 38-21. Then it was 38-28, and then you could start feeling the uneasiness throughout the stadium. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, we was getting looks, everybody was dancing, they was cheering, and we was just sitting there like, oh, all right. When it was 31, I think it was 31-38, and then we sat there, and it was like, no, it wasn't that. I think it was like 35-38. You felt we're going nuts. We are going insane. You could see the Dolphin fans, because we were literally, I'll be honest with you, I was literally all the way up top. And I mean, I could see everything. I could see both sidelines. I can see the players. I can see all of that stuff. So I'm sitting there, right? I'm looking at everybody. Literally, I'm to a point I don't have a voice right about now, because I'm talking shit. I'm screaming. I'm hollering. When we got that last touchdown, the crowd was silent. Literally, it just was like, you talking about shock. Like, I tell anybody, to have a feeling to see 50 to 60,000 fans go completely numb from your team, and especially the comeback that they had. After that, you seen the players from the Baltimore Ravens fighting with each other, arguing with each other on the sidelines, and I loved it. I loved every single moment of it, because at the end of the day, they thought they had us beat, and they thought it was going to be sweet. It's lovely to see your quarterback throw for 6 touchdowns and 300 yards, but it's even more lovely to see them beat a team that had a quarterback that ran for over 200 and passed for over 300 in that game. Yeah. So to sit there and be able to do that and have the cherry on top, and the cherry on top is coming back the way they did and beating them the way they did, especially being the very first victory in the existence of M&T Stadium. We never beat them in that stadium until last year.
Yeah. And
everybody's like, y'all acting like y'all won the Super Bowl. I said, we've never beat you guys here. And every Baltimore fan's like, what are you talking about? I said, we beat y'all in the old stadium, but this stadium right here, we've never beat y'all until today. That's why we were celebrating. Not only the fact of coming back, that's why you really celebrate, because like, we never beat you guys. Like, they was, y'all just want, y'all act like I want to Super Bowl. Listen, no, we not. I said, we came back and beat y'all, but we never beat y'all in M&T Stadium. Never. Yeah. So that right there will, like I said, that right there is, and I'm looking forward to making more memories, because like I said, I'm going to the Sunday night New England game, Philly game, Black Friday game against the Jets, and the last game against the Buffalo Bills here in Miami. So I'm going to 4 games this season.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you think about it, besides Pittsburgh, when we won the division, it was Baltimore that took us out, and the time Baltimore took us twice out the playoffs. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they've had our number, bro, for some reason.
Their defense was like their defense was sick. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think, what was it? We played. I know when we got in the playoffs and we played against them, it wasn't pretty.
Yep. I
It
agree.
was very, yeah, it was very, very, yeah, absolutely. Until that day, exactly. Actually, we had their number when they came down to Miami, and that's when Flores was hitting a zero blitz on them, and
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have no answer for it, you know. And the sad part about it is we knew who was running that defense once he left, because
Yeah.
Boyer, I'm sorry, Boyer is just trash truck juice. Like
Yeah.
that like I think somebody brought up. Was you the one that brought up the point of that of the Chargers game last year with the eight in the end zone and they still scored?
No, that wasn't me, but yeah.
Who was that? Was it? I think it was either him or it was either Louis. I think it might have been Luis.
Yeah, Lewis. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Lewis. It was
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah,
So
that's my
yeah,
man.
Luis. Yeah, because I was just sitting there shaking my head. I was watching that game over my boy's house actually, and he was just like, "What are y'all doing?" And I'm like looking, and I'm like, "Bro, I don't even know." Like I just was even looking. I was just looking at the TV, and I was just like, I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. Like I'm not even going to BS you. I've never seen a formation where you just leave 20 yards completely uncovered. Like, so I'm like this, and I'm going to stick to my guns.
Shout out
I
again to my man Anthony Pialucci for the
definitely
$2 donation, man. They were our only
only
win
win
in
in '07.
'07.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah, you didn't have to remind me. Don't remind me like you don't remind anybody about that 61-7 game. We don't
Yeah,
want to
that was the game that got Bill Belichick fired.
Mm, mm. Mm.
I don't know
That
what it is, but I think I don't know why, and I never met him, but I think John Harbaugh is a douche.
yeah, I don't know what's up with John. I don't. I'm be honest with you. I think both of them. I don't like the one is in college. He hasn't done a damn thing, and I don't know what's up with that.
Ray
He just
Camarillo, baby.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's just stealing money. The other one, I mean, he got a chip. He got one. So you know, I don't know if he's going to get any more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he got his boy. I mean, his boy is locked down. He got his bread. You know what I mean? They got Beckham over there. But thing about it is, it's not the same Beckham. People got to understand that as well too.
Yeah,
You know, this is the older Beckham. This is not the same old Beckham that was in New York killing it or playing for the Rams. You know, you never want to see a player hurt. You don't ever want to see that, and I don't ever want to wish that on any opposing team members because you know, we definitely got to, even though that the Buffalo Bills, you know, like I tell people after seeing DeMar Hamlin after that incident, that puts everything back, like life, that just puts everything back in perspective, yo. Everything that you think of watching the game. And I actually was watching that game. And when it happened, I was like, wow, like what just happened? And you know you put your rivalries to the side and you got to think like listen, this is life, this is a human being, this is not just a football player now, this is a
yeah.
human being, you know what I'm saying? So you know, with that being said, I you know, I tell people I don't, you know, I mean, bro, listen, we you know, you're just like a year younger than me, and I remember, we got to remember, we can go back to games where we seen guys be paralyzed on the field, you know, and I've
Well,
seen a few of those games.
like Michael Irving, even though you don't like the Cowboys, you still didn't want that to happen to Michael Irving.
Brother, I got a whole listen. If you ever want to do a show on backstories and some dirt, trust me, I could tell you some stuff about that week. Trust and believe. Um, I worked at Marriott, 1201 Market Street. The Cowboys were staying in at our hotel, and I will just say this: the housekeeper that cleaned his room said it looked like a blizzard in there. And I'm just gonna
Yeah,
sit there and let everybody put that into their imagination and lock it in. I'm just gonna leave it as
yeah.
that.
Ryan Shazier was he got paralyzed, and
Yeah,
but let me ask you this important two wrestling questions real quick.
talk to me.
Okay, name your favorite four horsemen lineup.
James J. Dillon is the manager. Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn, and what was the last one?
Oli, not Oli, right?
No, it wasn't Ole. It was Flair, Tully, Arn, and it was another member. I don't. It wasn't Oli. I remember the Minnesota Wrecking Crew because I remember them. I remember them wrestling in the AWA back in the day because I used to wrestle in the AWA back in the day. Because Rick actually came out of, it wasn't Smoky Mountain. Rick was wrestling somewhere else before he wrestled in the NWA.
Was it this combination?
Yes, Barry Windham. Correct. Yes. It was Barry Windham. I like that crew. Now a lot of people like the old crew with Oli, and I didn't have no problems with Oli because I liked, they were saying that was the first time I kind of understood professional wrestling, and they used to sit there and they would sit there and concentrate on a single body part, and I used to love that, and I would be like, why did he just concentrate on the arm? And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, you're talking to somebody that actually also was in a wrestling ring, that actually took bumps, that actually actually climbed up to the top rope. And I'm not gonna lie, I bitched out. I'm not going, bro. I'm gonna tell you straight up, and I'll tell anybody, you ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are watching and y'all think that, oh, professional wrestling is fake and all, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. From somebody that actually took bumps before and damn near almost knocked themselves out, it's nothing fake about it. No, you gotta give a lot of props to those men and women that put on those shows for us. Because I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like I took bumps. I've sat there. I actually did security for a match. My debut was actually supposed to be a battle royal, and the guy that trained me and the other guy that trained us went on a tag. They had a tag team match against these two brothers. I remember it. It was at West Philly High School. Me and my boys were security. Thank you, Paul.
Share the love.
Definitely.
We all are family when it comes down to staying safe and helping others. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Paul. Peace, love, fins up, Paul. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I can't stand that F word either. But yeah, so what happened was we knew what it was. We were gonna get roughed up as security at the end of the match. They were gonna take the L. We had to get beat up, roughed up, and then after we got roughed up a little bit, we had to come in the ring after they got roughed up and carry one of the trainers to the back to make it believable. So, I'm sitting there, rings right there where the apron is. Guys are doing their thing. They never tell us what is actually going to happen in the match. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When you're right there and you see two brothers, and I'm not going to lie to you, these two brothers look like they didn't miss any meals. So I'm going to be honest with you. They was pushing 3 apiece, bro. And their finisher was, now wait, I got to tell you guys this. The one guy that I was getting trained by was 160 fucking pounds. Now, the finisher of the match was one of the brothers went on one top rope, the other one went on the other top rope, and they both jumped and fell on this man because they both flew. And I'm sitting there like, Lord have mercy. I'm sitting there like, I looked, I'm sitting there like, this ain't good. Like, and I gotta keep face. I gotta stay face. But I'm sitting there in the back of my head and I'm like, yo, this ain't good. So, we went on with the theatrics after the match, pulled them out the ring. Me and my boys are carrying on the back. The music is playing. The promoter's in the back. We put them down. Yo, great match, everybody. His girlfriend's back there. The rest of the wrestlers back there, everything. I can't feel my legs. I said, yo, Captain Rick, come on, man, stop playing. He said, bro, I can't feel my legs. I said, yo, listen, the show is the fuck over. Get up. He said, bro, I can't get up. I'm freaking the fuck out.
Oh, shit.
The promoter's freaking out. I said, I'm going to call an ambulance. I don't have any insurance. I said, so what are we supposed to do here? You can't walk. He said, I just got it's nerves in my back, and it's just because from all the bumps. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and I'll tell, and like we said, things give you a sign to do or not to do. Now, this is a sign. And then I'm sitting there saying in my head, I'm like, look, Saul, you're a chef. I know you love professional wrestling, but let's think about this for a second. The insurance company is not going to cover professional wrestling incidents or injuries. You better think about this. So he finally got feeling in his lower extremities and he was able to get up. And I'm like, bro, you need to get checked out. He said, oh, I'll be fine. I'm like, all right. Literally the next day I told him, I said, I think my wrestling career has started and ended. Because I'm like, it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I respect the guys and the women that take the falls, the sacrifice, all of that. I mean, they literally like lived in their cars, lived on the street just to sit there and live their dream. And I'm like this. I'm like, I can't. I'm not doing that. Like, So I'll stay a mark. You know, but don't get it fucked up, ladies and gentlemen. I did wrestle, and not only professionally, but I was a Greco-Roman wrestler in high school, and actually to this day, in a 40-year history, no, my bad, 30-year history, we're still in the case. So with that being said, I can still get down. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
But what was your other wrestling question?
Before we go, I one person in particular that I got to give respect to is number one, Vince McMahon, but most importantly, Shane McMahon. He's taken some of the biggest bumps. He fell off the Titantron. He fell off. Remember the curtain when he fell on his head? Dude, this guy's a billionaire. He doesn't have to do this shit, bro. He doesn't have to put his body at risk.
I'm gonna keep it a being with you. You mentioned Shane. You mentioned Vince, and
you know what's funny? Vince McMahon's father didn't want him to be a wrestler.
No, he did not.
Him to be a wrestler.
Absolutely. I definitely watched many of stories about how they talked about Vince Sr. and Vince Jr. and all that. Like at one point in time back in 1984, that he was attempting to buy NWA. He wanted to buy NWA off of Crockett, and just so coincidental, Ted Turner said, "Nope, I'm gonna scoop that up." And if it wasn't for Ted Turner, Vince could have had like the whole monopoly back then in 1984, and people don't realize that. So, for me, and no disrespect to Shane or Vince, because those guys, you're right, those guys took crazy bumps. I think two people that took probably some of the sickest bumps that I've seen in person. I've seen Cactus Jack in person at ECW here in Philadelphia. Like
Cactus Jack is my favorite wrestler of all time.
I've actually met Cactus Jack when I was working at the restaurant at the Philadelphia Downtown Marriott, and he was walking with Bill Apter. Now, if you know professional wrestling, you know who Bill Apter is. Bill Apter is the editor-in-chief of Professional Wrestling Illustrated from back in the day. And he came into my restaurant, and I was like, oh, and I looked at him. I said, Mr. Foley, it's a pleasure to meet you. And I said, Mick, I said, can I ask you a question? He said, yeah, shoot. I said, you about to hang it up? And he said, all I'm going to say to you, brother, is the body only can take so much. And I said, well, if you're going to hang it up, I want to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart. And he said, I appreciate that. Thank you. And like I met him. God bless his soul. I met Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh, yeah.
Yo, I'm going to tell you something, man. I don't scare easy. I don't. But I'm going to tell you something. I met him. I actually went to a Nitro show, WCW Nitro, back in the day here in Philly. And they had an autograph session, and it was his valet at the time. It was a blind. I forgot what the valet's name was, but it was him and the valet. So, dude, you really don't think how big people are when you see them on TV, you know?
Yeah.
But I met this dude in person, and I'm like, I work out myself, but I met him in person. I'm like, his arms, like this dude is huge. Like, what the? So I actually do have a replica Ric Flair belt, and I had my replica Ric Flair belt on me, and he saw me, and he's like, "Oh, brother, I think I need a title shot." And I was like, "Yo, I just took the belt off. I was like, yo, here, bro, I'm not fucking with you." He's like, "I'm just kidding, brother. I'm just kidding." Everybody in the line's laughing their asses off. And I said, listen, I said, Mach, you were one of my favorite wrestlers. And he said, brother, I appreciate you. Thank you. And, and I'll say this, a lot of the wrestlers I met were cool for the exception of one.
Hulk Hogan?
No. Oh. And this is another one that passed away. And I'm going to sit there at Dr. Death Steve Williams.
He's the reason why Stone Cold became Stone Cold, Steve Austin, because he became Steve Austin because Steve Austin's real last name is Williams, Steve Williams.
Right. So I seen him at a Gary Albright memorial show. If anybody knows who Gary Albright is and don't, he was a professional wrestler that wrestled for All Japan Pro Wrestling back in the day. Sad that he had if I'm correct, a heart attack in the ring. And he passed away in the ring at a very early age. If I'm correct, he was only in his early 30s. So they had a memorial show back in the day for him. Me and one of my boys drove up there. It was in, I think if I'm correct, it was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I met Bob Backlund, because this is when Bob Backlund actually was running for Congress back in the day. And I met him, and he was a really good, really nice guy. I sat, like, literally talked to him like 20 minutes. And he actually had a match, and I screamed out in the match. I was like, Bob Backlund for president. And the man got out the ring, came to me and shook my hand, and everybody was like applauding and going crazy. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I met Rakishi, I met RVD. I have pictures. I like whenever you want to do this wrestling, John, man, I got pictures. Trust me. That definitely, right. Yeah. So
I'll tell you what, we'll come because I have a couple of people that are not Dolphin fans that I've been speaking with a couple of people to make this happen. Even if it's on here or on Larry K channel, we're gonna make it happen.
Please do.
Yeah, for sure. We'll coordinate. By the way, Paul, check your Facebook, bro. Please, thank you. I sent you a message on Facebook, Paul. Anyway, 2 questions. Actually, I'm gonna add one more question.
Okay.
So, tag team. Who's the better tag team? Hold on. I have. Is this a specific question? Road Warriors or the Steiner brothers?
Oh, I'm old school. So I mean, I love the Steiners, man. They were ferocious, nasty. I'll tell anybody. One of the hardest hitting matches was, if I'm correct, it was Dr. Death and Steve Bam Bam Gordy against the Steiners, and it was probably one of the most stiffest matches I've ever seen in WCW. But I'm gonna go with the Road Warriors. I'm an old school cat. Like,
me too.
Dude, like, me too.
I love the Road Warriors, bro.
Jesus, it was nothing like Saturday mornings when you turned on. And I don't know what the station was down there in Florida, but I know up here for us, it was Channel 17. And it was nothing like turning on Channel 17, if I'm correct, around 12 o'clock. And you got to see NWA wrestling before it was WCW. And you knew you were going to get a show because you either was going to see Flair on there, or you got to see Dusty on there, or you got to see Barry Windham on there when he was solo before he was a part of the Horsemen, or you got the chance to see the Road Warriors, or you got a chance to see Ronnie Garvin. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But when the Road Warriors came out and they had to go against the Jobbers, I felt bad for the Jobbers, dude. They would just go in there, beat their ass, and it just just didn't care. And me, back in the day, I think for me, what got me to sit there and stop being on a face or a heel, I think Ric Flair was the one that did it for me. I didn't care if Flair was a heel. I didn't care if Flair was a face. That, like, if I liked you, I liked you. I didn't care if you was a good guy or a bad guy. You know what I mean? So, but that man put his whole life. He literally sacrificed his whole life. He lived that whole gimmick. That was him. That was his life. You know what I'm saying? And for him to sit there and give that up, because I'm gonna be honest with you, that man, they had stories. That man would. It was time for him to go home. I don't want to go home. I want to be Ric Flair. He said, "No, bro, go home to your wife and kids." No, I want to. Come on, let's go to the bar. No, go home. And he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go home.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he his workout, and this is something I think Arn Anderson said, or told either Arn Anderson or Tully. He said he would party all night he would close the bar down. He had his women with him, but the first person that was in the gym was Rick. He said his normal day would start off drinking a 6-pack on the way to the gym, maybe a bottle also, work out for 3 hours. Then he would work out for 3 hours, get ready throughout the day, do 1 or 2 60-minute matches, and then he was right at the bar. It didn't matter what hotel he was at. He was right at the bar, and he would close that bitch down. And he did that on a constant basis.
God damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
By the
But
way, we
go
about
ahead.
to get into. I make sure one more wrestling related questions, and we're gonna do 2 segments. We're gonna do the numbers game, and we're gonna build your ultimate team. And so, remember you ever see that show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes.
There's a lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make an exception for you today because I kept you here longer than I should. So I'm gonna give you a lifeline, bro.
Appreciate you.
And who the best lifeline that you should have, you could have, is no other than the co-host of the West Coast Dolphin Fan Club, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Papa Paul. Welcome to the program. Welcome.
What's up, brother? How you doing, Paul?
Oh yeah.
What's good with you, brother? How you?
I had a good day. I slept all afternoon.
Sounds like a good day to me. Shit.
There's nothing wrong with that, brother. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
But yeah, man, let me ask you one last wrestling related question, because this Saturday on the Finn's tailgate,
yes,
my man Wooback couldn't make it, but Q, let me tell you, here's one thing that I want people to realize is the fact that a lot of the so-called Tua-neers, the people that defend Tua to the death,
yes,
everybody says they're Alabama fans. Some of them are, but there's a lot of them that are from Samoan descent. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So there's nothing wrong with, because at the end of the day, when you criticize Tua, the Samoans are a very tight knit group. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
it's like when you insult Tua, you're insulting their brother. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And one of the most outstanding Samoans that I've met was he's a Steelers fan. His name is Q. He's now he ingratiated himself with the Dolphin community. He came for Tua, but he stayed because he's seen how tight knit this Dolphin family was, and he stayed because he's like, damn, you guys are awesome. Nobody opens panels like we do. Nobody does communications like we do. So I'm gonna do a show Friday, football players of Samoan descent. Then we're gonna talk about Tua's heritage and explain his tattoos and so people will get a better understanding of why Tua is the way he is. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be this Saturday at the Finn's tailgate. Okay. So with that being said, I want, if you could name your 3 top wrestlers of Samoan descent, what would you say they would be?
So we're going to start all the way from the beginning. I'm going to go Alpha and Sika. That's a Samoan SWAT team. Rakishi, because I met him and he's a really cool guy. Like that dude, like when I tell people I put Rakishi there because he's if I'm correct, the father of the bloodline. He's the father of them guys, the Usos, my bad. And I'll just sit there and put it out here, folks. When we talk professional wrestling, I got a story about Jimmy Snuka. Because I actually met Snuka too. But
as a matter of fact, he's the one who inspired Mick Foley.
Right. It is. Yeah. Definitely. I met Rick Rakishi. He was a very cool guy, very like really cool, very down to earth. Loved his energy, like mad cool. And I mean, I gotta put the top man. I met him literally 3 times, and I got 3 stories, quick stories.
Okay.
Is Mr. Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock.
Yeah.
I met The Rock the first time. I went to WrestleMania 15 here in Philadelphia, Rock versus Stone Cold. I met him at Oxford Valley Mall. He was exhausted. You could see it in his face. I said, Rocky, you look exhausted. He said, I am. I said, I thank you for your time. He said, I appreciate it. So that was the only few words I had with him the first time. The second time was a few years ago. I was working. I actually do cook, folks. So I professionally cooked for 8 years. So I used to make breakfast in front of people, in front of the patrons and the guests. Anything that you wanted, between crepes, eggs Benedict, omelets, any way you want, egg whites, waffles, pancakes, anything, you can go down the line. So I sit there and I'm finishing up my buffet, and all of a sudden I turn around. I see somebody. I turn around and it's him. And I'm like, yo, I said, "Hey, Dwayne, how you doing?" He said, "Hey, how you doing? We said, how you feeling this morning?" I said, "I'm doing great. What can I do for you?" He wanted 3 egg whites. I said, "No problem." I said, "You want them out of the carton or you want them out of the shell? I can do either one." He said, "I don't." He said, "Do you mind doing them out of the shell?" I said, "Not a problem." So we sitting there. I'm cooking his breakfast, and I said, "Rock." He said, "Yeah." I said, "You know somebody I know?" And he's looking at me. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You know somebody I know." Because I was dating somebody in Fort Lauderdale back in like 99 to like about 2000, like around 2000, 2001. And I was traveling back and forth from Philly down there. So the young lady that I was dating literally lived right around the corner from The Rock, and she was working at the Sports Authority down there. And she would see him anytime that he was home. He would come by and always sit there and be in her line. So I said, "You know a young lady that has auburn hair, this, that, and the other, da, 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 da." And then I said her name. And he was like, "Oh my God, you're the boyfriend." And I said, "I told you I knew you." He was like, "Holy shit." He like, we're like going crazy out there. My chef runs out, my coworkers come out there, and I told them all, I said, "I told you guys I knew The Rock." They said, "I know his girlfriend from Fort Lauderdale." Their fucking mouths dropped. They couldn't
Damn.
fucking believe it. They couldn't believe it. They were like, "You wasn't bullshitting." I said, "I told you I wasn't bullshitting." So they couldn't believe it. But yeah, I met him then, and then I met him one more time at that the memorial show, at the Gary Albright Memorial Show. He actually was signing autographs, and he was signing autographs at a card store in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And he spent 10, 15 minutes with each person that paid for an autograph. So it was like a $50 autograph, but it was worth it because I got a chance to really like sit and talk to him. Like, "Hey," I said, "You remember me?" And he's looking at me, and he was like, he's like, "Can you freshen up my memory?" Because I walked in with my belt and everything, and I said, "Remember the chef that made you breakfast?" And he's looking at me. He's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Yo, how you been?" I said, "I'm good." Like when I say The Rock is such a people's person, like when you talk
Yeah.
to people champ and all, that dude is extremely down to earth. Extremely down to earth. So yeah, because like I said, yeah, I met him 3 times. Now
Well,
what was the other question?
I seen him. That was it. The Samoan, but the tag team and the Samoans. But I seen him wrestle 3 times. The first one was it was him. It was him and Big Boss Man. This was this was a house show. This wasn't
Right,
televised. It
right,
was
right,
him
right.
and Boss Man versus Austin and Mick Foley.
Okay.
Then I saw him wrestle in a casket match against the Undertaker. And
Wow.
then me and my best friend Joe, who's the Cowboys fan, we saw him at WrestleMania at Hard Rock against
Wow.
John Cena.
Oh man, Mister, you can't see me, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, or AKA Fruity Pebbles.
Oh
So
man, yeah.
so anyway, all right, here we go. We're gonna do the numbers game. Paul was
Okay.
pretty good at it, right? Paul,
Oh
remember?
shit.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
my
Paul.
wife loves The Rock. She loves his smile. She's in love with that man and his smile. With all my surgeries I had, she kept saying, "Well, maybe they'll turn you into The Rock." Okay, thanks.
Shit, that's not surgery, brother. That's like 3-4 hours in the gym every day,
I'm
bro. Like real shit. That's not surgery.
I'm gonna do 4 numbers and a trivia. I'm gonna give you the same trivia question I gave Paul. If you know what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
So anybody who has numbers, can we give me a number, or I'll think of a number, and you tell me the first player that comes to mind. Paul, you want
Okay.
to give me a number?
Let's go with 67.
Shit.
I can't think of something that's hard even for me.
Yeah.
There's one person who wore it for a year, a very good player, but the biggest player that wore it was back in the 70s.
67. Jesus Christ. My
Shout
brain is
out to my Finn's tailgate brother.
82.
Color.
Color.
67. Tunzel wore it for a year.
Right. I knew he wore it for a year,
But
but I'm trying to figure out who was the other person at 82. Shit, I should know that.
number 67, which I wear all the time, is Bob Kuchenberg.
Okay.
Kuchenberg, yeah.
82 color. Oh shit. I'm
I have
not gonna
one.
lie, guys. I'm drawing blanks, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Me neither. All right. How about 45? How about 24?
24. Who's number 24? Wait, 245. Wait, we got 245. What the hell?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is number 245? Wait a minute.
By the way, Brian Hartline is a good one.
Okay.
22, but go ahead. 24. No, actually 24. That's why I said 24. I took out the 5.
24.
Here's one. Sean Smith.
Delvin Williams.
51.
I am failing horrible, guys. Y'all definitely put because they definitely not giving.
He gave the middle finger to the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, Brian Cox. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. 23.
That's Surtain.
Ronnie Brown.
Ronnie Brown. Yeah, I definitely should know that because I got a Ronnie Brown jersey sitting right the fuck upstairs.
All right, here we go. Here's the question I asked Papa Paul. Okay. What are the 3 official retired Dolphin jerseys?
So the obvious number 1 would be Marino, number 13.
Mm-hmm.
Greasy would be number 2 with 12.
Correct.
Now I'm going to take a wild guess for the last one. Would it be Zonka?
Correct.
All right.
And how about this one, number 29?
29 was Surtain. So who was 20? All right, my bad.
Dokes. Jared Dokes wore 23.
Troy Vincent. All right, so here we go. This is the ultimate team, and then we'll wrap this up. By the way, I was glad to be a part of the show yesterday. You guys dropped the link, and I appreciate you guys dropping the link. So, again, Wednesdays 8:45. That's what the normal time is. The link is in the description. So please, if you want to check them out, go ahead, give them a subscription. They're great community. They're a great addition to this community, man. And I appreciate you guys for being in the blender with me this week and on the Finn's Tailgate, man. You guys are awesome.
We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. And we want to continue.
All about Dolphin family.
Absolutely. And continue success to you guys, because I watch you guys, caller. I watch you at 6 in the morning, my brother. Don't think I don't, because I'm usually at work at 6 in the morning. I watch Al Capitan. I watch him when he goes on. It could be like 11 o'clock, and when he pops on, I watch him when he come on. When you go on, Shake, whenever you pop on, my whole thing is this: love is love, man. You share the love, you spread the love, and it will go, and it will be infectious, and it's a beautiful thing. All the bullshit, put that to the side, man, for real. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we are all Miami Dolphin fans. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all going to agree. We're going to agree to disagree and be indifferent for everything that goes along with this team. But guess what?
What goes around comes around.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, we want all.
By the way, what do you think of number 3? This is a bonus one from my man Raphael Courtright, who's also in the military. Well, I just found out.
Oh, thank you for your service, sir. Definitely.
Yes.
Number 3.
I draw a blank on that one. I'll tell you that right now.
Isn't it kicker? A kicker. That's a kicker, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Ruby.
Reggie Roby, maybe.
Reggie Roby. Was it Reggie Roby?
No, Reggie Roby, I think, was he? I know whatchamacallit was number 3, Miles Gaskins.
Okay.
Harrington was 3.
Harrington. Yeah, I'm sucked tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
That's all good. All right, let's do this ultimate team. The ultimate team is where you What's your favorite formation in offense?
Shotgun.
Shotgun. So 3 receivers, 1 tight end,
Yes.
and a running back, right?
Correct.
All right. Who's your quarterback? Joey Harrington.
Marino is the quarterback, of course.
Okay, give me a second. I tried.
You don't want Joey, okay?
Unless you wanted me to say Cleo Lemon, and I definitely was bullshitting on that one. Okay, yo, just for Paul, I'll just say Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in the U.S. Marine Corps back in 96 to 2000. Man, thank you for your service, man.
Thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate you.
We appreciate you very much. Yes, sir.
Definitely.
So, how about the running back?
Ricky.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tight end. No, one right. What tight end? Right, tight end. Yeah.
Yeah, tight end.
Receivers.
Shoot. Can we have players that we used to have on our team as tight ends?
Yeah, it can be anybody.
Yeah. No. It's players. They have to. It has to be the Miami. He has to be a Miami Dolphin, and he has to be a Dolphin for at least 1 year. So, you got Jim Mandich. You got Randy McMichael. You had Charles Clay. You had Reggie Jackson. Keith Jackson.
I like Reggie. Keith Jackson. Yeah, Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson was the reason why free agency started, folks. If you do your homework about Keith Jackson got released by the Philadelphia Eagles because they were cheap fucks back in the 90s. They went out to free agency, but the NFL said, you have to find a team. So, because they were just going to sit there and just do away with him because he really didn't have anywhere to go, and he fell right to the Dolphins.
Okay, 3 receivers.
The Marks brothers and Tyreek Hill. I think that's the easiest I can go because I'm like this. The Marks brothers were like no other, and Tyreek is just different. No disrespect to any other wide receivers in between that time.
Who would you put on the outside? Who would you put on the inside?
Tyreek is on the inside. Tyreek's on the inside, and the Marks brothers are on the outside.
Okay. All right. Who's your O-line?
This is going to be a controversial one. No, he was a piece of shit because I don't like bullying, but Incognito.
Yeah, a lot of people have Incognito as your guard, right?
Yeah. Guard? Yes, like that nastiness about him.
Mm-hmm. Center. You have your lifeline if you need for help. So
no, not yet. I don't want to use my lifeline yet. I don't want to use my lifeline because I already know I'm going to probably need some help on the defense too. So that's why I'm trying to hold off on my lifeline. Center. I'll actually take the current center that we have right now.
Williams? Connor Williams?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we doing? Right tackle?
Stevenson? Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Right.
No, we got one more guard.
One more guard.
And then 2 tackles.
All right, I'll do the lifeline now for a guard. For another guard.
For the guard, well, Kuchenberg for one. Or you can go with Newman.
Newman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Newman.
Now this is going to get real interesting because now I got to think about some tackles.
Oh, I know one of them you'll pick. You should pick. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but should be.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Richmond Webb, of course.
Yeah.
Webb.
Webb, definitely. Yeah, and I definitely second that. He's well overdue.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think of another one because it's so many. But there's the thing, like we always talk about the O-line. The O-line has always been an issue and a problem for the Miami Dolphins, even when Marino was a problem, when even Marino was doing his thing.
Yeah.
Shit.
One of the best ones that I came across was actually Norm Evans, old school.
Well, you got what about Juwan? No, you had you can switch Larry Tunsil.
I was thinking that because I mean, let's think about that. If it wasn't for Tunsil, we wouldn't have Tyreek, and we wouldn't have half of the people that we have on the team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you got to put him. Yeah, put him in there. You got to because we got about what 4 or 5 years of great draft picks from Laremy Tunsil. So we got to put him on that list.
All right, what's your defensive formation?
See, I'm thinking now defense wise. I'm thinking about my Madden days because I used to play a lot of 4-3 and a lot of dime. So I'm gonna go dime.
Okay, that's what's up.
And so then this is gonna be hard because I man, defense. Where are we starting off on defense, Shake?
You got your defensive line,
Okay.
then your linebacker, and then four corners, 2 safeties.
Linebacker is Zach Thomas right from the gate.
Okay, Zach Thomas.
Yeah, I'm putting Zach at linebacker already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing. This is a dream to me. Jason Taylor, and Agba on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
You got Christian Wilkins in the middle. But then you got I really want to pick somebody from the past, way past.
Manny Fernandez.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I got one more, right?
Well, no, one more. 2 tackles. You got Wilkins and then Manny Fernandez, or you want to switch out?
Take out Wilkins.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a name that nobody mentions, and he was one of the. I think I'm correct. He's one of the first. Like when I say on one of the first teams, the first Miami Dolphins teams. Wahoo McDaniel.
Who?
Wahoo McDaniel, the wrestler Wahoo McDaniel was a Miami Dolphin.
Yes.
So Mike McDaniel? No.
Wahoo McDaniel. There's no Mike McDaniel. It's Wahoo McDaniel.
Okay, I got you.
He was a beast on the field.
And he was a beast in the wrestling ring too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I forgot all about him.
Mm-hmm.
Cornerbacks. You got 4.
Certain.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. We got Certain. We got let's think. Because there's so many good corners. We're gonna definitely. All right, so I'm gonna do corner. I'm gonna do safeties while I'm doing the corners as well.
Okay, yeah.
So we're gonna do Certain on one side. We're gonna do X in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that safety back in the day? Oh fuck.
Jake Scott or
No, it wasn't Jake Scott. It was somebody else. Fuck.
Next.
Huh?
No, sorry.
Get
your fat ass before I make some fucking.
Sound like you last night with the dogs.
Dick Anderson.
It's not. It wasn't Anderson. I'm trying to think because I don't. Is not nobody current. And my memory is fucking shot tonight. Fucking
we got let me see, Walt Aikens, we got Brock Marion, we got G5, which is Rashad Jones.
Rashad Jones.
Yeah, Rashad Jones, okay.
I mean, you had Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, Howard, Brent Grimes, Terrell Buckley.
No, we're not doing Grimes. Oh, hell no.
Buckley.
Tim Foley.
Oh, what about safeties? We have Brock Marion. Oh, what about Jeremiah Bell? He was a good one.
No, what was it? I named X and it wasn't what's the name?
Surtain. X and Surtain was the two.
X and Surtain was the safety. So now we're doing corners.
Those are the corners. X and Surtain.
Those are corners. You need two corners.
Rashad Jones. Yeah, Rashad Jones and one safety. So you need two corners and one more safety.
One more safety. We're gonna go. Well, the other safety could be Javon Holland because I think he's an up and up, and I like that kid, and I like his energies, and I think he's going to be better this year than he was last year.
Okay.
So I got what, 2 more corners, correct?
Yep.
You still have Sam Madison.
That's right. We got.
See, this is hard because, like you said, it's an ultimate team.
Vernon.
Yeah.
Vernon.
I mean, you can go back to Dick Westmoreland, Tony Lippett.
I know who I did forget to mention. Fucking Bo Camper. I'm the Killer B. I forgot about him.
He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I forgot about him, and I could have definitely easily put him in.
I definitely want to go to Bo Campers. By the way, before I
trust me, you definitely need to do that before it's closed for very good reasons. That I'm not going to get you in trouble with your significant other right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you that right now because there's some sights in there. Trust. Because I couldn't believe what I seen in there. I was like, good Lord. I said, yeah, this will make me want to move down here. But
yeah, I love the Bruise brothers, also part of the Killer Bees.
Right. So
what about Troy Vincent?
Yes, there you go. Troy Vincent. I got one more.
No, Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, Sam Madison. You said that right?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah. So here's your offense as constructed.
Gotcha.
Marino, Ricky Williams, Keith Jackson, the Marks brothers, and Tyreek Hill. You have Richmond Webb, Incognito, the Williams, the Connor Williams, Newman, and then Laramie Tunsil. Then Jason Taylor and Nagba. You have McDaniel and Manny Fernandez. You have Zach Thomas, Patrick Surtain, Xavier Howard, Sam Madison, and Troy Vincent with Javon Hollins and Rashad Jones. I say that's a formidable opponent in my opinion. So before we wrap out, Papa, any final thoughts?
No, I appreciate you very much as having me on. Dolphin Winters is my man. He's a co-host of everything, and
yeah, in
a lot of ways, he does a lot more than I do.
So I'd be remiss, man, because like I said, man, when it comes to me and Lewis, you're more on Winters. You're more on the Lewis side. I'm more Paul. I'm more on yours. I'm more your. It's like the yin and the yang, the cool and the calm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're all about the smoke. Me, I'm just about relax. But at the end of the day, man, we make a great duo. You know what I'm saying? Just like you guys.
Yes, you do. You do.
You guys definitely do. You guys definitely do, and just keep up the good work, man. You know what I mean? Feed off each other, and definitely that's what we do. Like we definitely feed off each other. You know, we definitely got to shout out our buddy Pedro because Pedro's energy is crazy. He passed out
Yeah,
on
he
us the
is.
other day, but it's all
Yeah.
good.
He was in the blender.
Right.
Next week, Ali the Persian from the Finn's Tailgate will be in the blender next Thursday.
Nice,
The week after
nice,
that, color commentary is going to be in the blender. Then after that, it's going to be my man Lewis is going to be in the blender. And then
nice.
last episode is going to be me in the blender, and Larry K is going to be in my seat. Well, not in my seat literally, but he's going to be the one interviewing me.
Nice.
And
Cool.
after that, we're going to wrap up in the blender for season 1, and then season 2 will be after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And now I'm going to put this caveat out there. If you're watching, Tory Day, check this out. From here to the Super Bowl, if there's ever a moment in your mind where you say, "Hey, I want to be on the blender," I will reopen it up just for you.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Especially from
you have an open invitation, bro. I don't care if it's a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday, a Tuesday. He's the only one with the open invitation. I will make, there's rules for every exception. There's exception for every rule. He's going to be that one exception. So at the end of the day, after it's done, season 2. But again, if not, no pressure. But if you ever feel froggy, bro, and want to jump in, he has that open invitation whenever. You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, also Dr. Reginald Brown, he was the former wide receiver for the he was a former wide receiver for the Houston Oilers.
Yes.
He played with Warren Moon. He is going to be in the blender on the 11th.
Nice.
So that's going to be another great episode.
Well, you
By
had
the
a
way,
good
shout out
episode with him the other day.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to whatchamacallit. I agree with you, man. Tory Day is an amazing human being.
Right.
Dude, have you seen him play the guitar, bro? I mean, the bass. Oh man, the guy. It looks like he's a rock star, bro.
Listen, shout out to my brother Tory Day, especially my man being from Buffalo country too.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's rough. That ain't easy, man. And that's that brother actually helped me out on my AO page. So definitely AO. Mr. Paul, he's on my AO page as well. AO is another group that I run on Facebook. That's my baby as well.
Hey, do me a favor, man. Send me some invitations, bro. I would love to join.
Without a doubt, brother. I'll definitely send you an invite to AO. Without a doubt.
Any other Facebook that you could, if you're on Facebook, send me an invite, because what happened was I was on a lot of Facebook page, but at one point it was just trash talking. I'm like, I'm here to talk Dolphins, not trash talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had to leave some of those pages because that's all they did was talk shit. I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. I live in Florida. I have enough drama. I don't need freaking.
Yo, I hear you on that. Definitely. I definitely hear you on that.
You have any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
I just want to thank everybody that watched this evening. I want to thank Papa Paul. I want to thank you too, Shake. I mean, I really appreciate both of you gentlemen. Hey, listen, this is a beautiful thing. I hope to be able to do it more and more often. And ever you guys would like to have me on, or whenever I have some free time, I would love to hop on at any given time, man.
And by the way, Lewis I already spoke to Lewis. It's gonna be me and you. We're gonna have a me, you, Crypto. He wants to have you in the Finn's Tailgate. So be on the lookout for that invitation, bro. So
I appreciate that, man. Definitely, anytime.
All right, man. So with that being said, I usually put everybody in the back, but what the fuck? I've gone on for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. So with that being said, man, fins up, guys.
Fins up, guys. Peace up, fins up.